All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan, and today we're back for another simple signal stream, and we have a new camera. So you might have noticed if you watched Mike's stream, he had a camera in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and it was looking very, very nice. And we also have that on this stream. The past cameras we've had, me and Mike had the identical cameras, were fisheye lens, which basically meant it saw more like view, basically. These are a bit more flatter, so you can only really see a tiny bit, of my head. It's a bit more zoomed in, so hopefully my head isn't as big and it's covering the entirety of the screen. So we might need to change that for the stream, but hopefully you can see me in all my glory, the Oracle, the 1,000-year-old saint that I am. But other than the streams are going to be exactly the same. So pretty crazy movement for the market. We didn't hold. We didn't ever get up above 63.6. So we dumped. So a true testament to what I was saying, basically, like 2 streams ago. What I was on 2 streams ago, like 2-3 streams ago. Can't remember exactly when I said it, but I was basically saying we need to come above this price, bounce off it, and use it as support to know that we're actually in this next range. We didn't do that, and lo and behold, where are we? All the way back down, touching 60k, touching the order block we had, all the way down. I can't remember where our exact low point was, but additionally, we did have data. We do have data today. I believe it came out 30 minutes ago. I'm not too sure, though. Can't remember exactly what time it is. I think it's 2:30 American time. And that's about 5 hours behind my time zone, which is... actually, no. Is it 5 hours? I can't remember. Okay, I think it's 8:30. I think it was about 8:30. Something like that. Which basically is when the data comes out. So, I think it came out. I think the unemployment rate was positive. I think it came down... wasn't it 4.1 instead of 4.2, and it came up in terms of employment? I thought it was a positive thing, wasn't it? Let's look up. Alright, here we go. Let's see. 4 minutes ago, dropped to 4.1 from 4.2. So basically, if it went up, the employment rate is going. There's less people unemployed because the higher the unemployment rate is, the less people have jobs. You know what I'm saying? So it went up, which is a positive thing, or it went down, which is a positive thing. I think it was 4.1 from 4.2, which is a good thing. That is good. That means it adds more jobs. You can see 254,000 new American jobs, or people in jobs, which is obviously very good news. Obviously, it is what it is. It is positive news at the end of the day. Any news is positive news. So that's going to have helped. We're at 62.3 right now, having some nice movement upwards. And again, this only came out. Well, this article on CNN 44 minutes ago. It probably came out, an hour ago, whenever it was. Exactly when the data got released. I think there's also another. What's it called? If I go to, I think it's called like FX, like news. I can't remember exactly. There's like tons of them which basically show you all the news of late. So the latest stories. So yeah, a bunch of stuff about I don't know if I could say it, but the not happy things going on in the world, which isn't going to help the market. So again, that doesn't help either with our dump. Where else? Where is it? US jobs suggests. Yeah, so this is obviously, this was them US jobs surging. So that's that. There's a second thing of importance, like an actual importance. There's always news every single day. Not every single day, but there's always news. This is 6 hours ago. I don't know when the day was. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care anymore. There's a second thing. I don't know if it was positive or not, but the market's going up. Whoop-de-doo. Whatever. Let's move on. Okay. I haven't even done my intro, and I've been 4 minutes in. This is appalling. Also, by the way, the camera moves to fit my head in, which is nice. It's also not as cutting out. It's kind of cutting me out a bit, but whatever. We'll move on. I need the intro. So, welcome. If you've not been on any of these streams before, my name is the Oracle. The all-knowing and all-seeing in crypto. Obviously, consider liking, subscribing, following, notifications, all that jazz. And while you're down there are very, very useful links in the description, Twitter, and the Telegram. Mainly, those are the places either you want to come to. Mainly, Mike is on the Twitter, but me and Mike are in the Telegram as well. I have been posting. I think I posted some charts and talked in some of the OG area. I haven't really. I haven't said anything in the main area. In terms of charts as of yet. I'm waiting for this to reside to kind of show the next movement upwards. But I do have something really interesting to say about Bitcoin. Not only about what we're doing in the the dealing ranges, but we also have something really important in the A&D cycle. So I do want to go over that as well. Throughout the stream after, in 10 minutes. Also, do post coins. I should hopefully, not spend too much time and speed up a bit. But it is definitely a non-zero chance that I spend the entirety of the stream talking about Bitcoin, mainly Bitcoin to be honest, and Ethereum and Solana. So put some coins in the chat. If I have time, I'll get to them. If I don't, I don't. If you're on Binance, again, put it a couple of times. The chat is an absolute mess over there. So, yeah. I just went over and already got someone begging for Bitcoin in the chat. It's just a cesspool of trash. If you're in the Binance chat and you actually want to talk or say anything, just come over to YouTube. Just come over to YouTube. Do yourself a favor, and me, to be honest. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Let's get into. I need some water actually. Okay. Let's get into percentages. Okay. So 24 hour, 2.7% up Bitcoin. Very nice. Obviously not recovering completely from the situation we've had. 5.46% down in the 7 day. Obviously that's recovered a bit. So as we trail into the week, it's obviously going to decrease that loss. The maximum loss, our difference has been pretty drastic. Obviously we reached about 60k as our low, so we've obviously gone up from that extreme low to right now currently about 4.2%. So this is obviously going to be a lower, this 5.5% move down, but we've had a big move down nonetheless, okay, just in general. Ethereum as well, obviously market has followed suit. You can see 3.6% up for Ethereum, but 10.26% down for on the 7 day anyway. That was good, like I said, for Bitcoin. That's going to have recovered quite nicely anyway. Again, Bitcoin had this nice area over here of this order block we had in this area on the higher frame. Okay, I'm not on the higher frame. Actually, let me switch over to it so we can all see. I hope my head isn't covering anything. I don't think it is. So yeah, here we go. So you can see this is order block area, and a nice order block which we've used twice now. So really good support here. Obviously we're not we're not afraid of flipping it, to be fair, but we do have nice support there. So I'm not surprised we haven't gone down as far as everything else has. Let me go back to this quickly. There we go. But yeah, and we go to Solana as well. $143 right now. Oh, $2,429 for Ethereum, just to say that as well. But for Solana, $144 basically for Solana. So basically a 1% up 1 hour, which is again pretty nice. 5.7 on the 24 hour though, and roughly similar to Ethereum, about 10%. 9.2% for the downwards movement on the 7 day. So again, a big movement anyway. Haven't really looked at Solana in a while, so we will look at that in a fair bit, because I do spend a lot of time on Bitcoin, I'm not gonna lie. And we have 2 charts to cover up on Bitcoin. Again, not like a full drawing, but to look at, and I'm going to talk about them a lot, so I do want to talk about that in great detail. So what I will do, I'm going to read the chat, see people saying hello and whatnot, and then we will move on to let me scroll up a bit, move on to actually look at the charts. Camera looks pretty nice. It is a higher quality. I don't know what settings it is on. I think it's on 1920 right now, but you can probably see the pores in my skin. And Mike, before I went on stream, talked about he needs some makeup because you can see all his wrinkles. Obviously, happy birthday to Mike again. It was his birthday 2 days ago, so yeah, shout out. Let me scroll down now though. Say hello to everybody again. Kishan, the goat. We love Crypto Warehouse. We love you from Crypto Warehouse, Kishan. We love you. Okay. Let me scroll down a bit more. Again, the chat's always lagging. And agendas always here. Absolute goat. I don't see Mags. Unless I've missed it. No. A quiet night. To be fair, I haven't actually messaged in the Telegram. I will do that right now because I forgot to do that. Let me do that really quickly to make sure everybody knows that we're live right now. Go to the chat. There we go. There we go. Okay. So make sure everyone knows we're live. Okay. Because sometimes notifications do get sent out. Okay, Shan. KB, evening to you. Glad you could join. Got to break that 63k. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, if you know, we had that equilibrium. We've bounced off about 7 times now, whatever it's been. I've already drawn, actually, if I go to it. You can see, this is of important. Okay, 62.5 talks about this. 63, as you said, Mike, gold breaks at 63k. Completely agree. You know, obviously on the lower time frame, on this what we have right now, we need to have that bump above. Probably, you know what? Yeah, 62.9. I'd say bump above 62.9. Use it as support. Then I'm confident. If we could push up that, then I'll be happy. Okay, and this is a big dip. But again, considering why we've dipped, let me scroll down. I'm just looking at these lines down here. Just bring on the lower time frame. So you can see like really nice support. Not only at this order block, at this line here as well, which we just had previous. You know, high, oops, move the whole thing. But you can see this is where the order block area is. You can see really nice usage of it. Slowly coming back up on us now. I'm hoping we can break above it. But obviously we've already used it as resistance. We've already tested it. But we're having a higher high now. You know, since this high. So obviously, you know, doing our thing. Obviously on the lower time frame, we've got our general trend downwards. Now we flipped it, you know, coming upwards. But the main important point is, especially on the 4 hour, is that we've had this, you know, this bounce here, you know, low bounce. But now we're trying to do this high, or we're doing a higher high here now, which is very good news. Hopefully we can have a higher low and continue upwards. So I'm hoping that this isn't a considerable dip below where we're using it where we use it as resistance and then come all the way back down. You know, it is shaky waters, but I think that the time we've spent below equilibrium shouldn't really directly mean we're gonna, you know, exactly use it as resistance. We're gonna guaranteed use it as a massive resistance area and come all the way back down to, you know, the low of this range at 59k. You know, I'm not saying that we've not spent a lot of time below it, so I'm hoping we can swift ourselves back upwards above it before we fail. I believe was this a breaker block? Yeah, this is no. Well, it's breaker block in this frame, so basically means it can be used interchangeably as resistance and support. So obviously we probably will see resistance at 63.2 as well, this range. What I'm hoping to see is a move up into that area, you know, not only above 62.5, hopefully getting above, or not hopefully, what I want to see happen is getting above 62.9 and seeing that you know, usage and flipping it, basically using it as support. Because once we do that, we can then, you know, it'll be the same exact scenario we've had back here, a momentary dip down here, to then, you know, come back upwards. But yeah, again, what's happening in the world right now is really just not, you know, helping us in any regard. But hopefully we can have this moving back upwards and have this continuous. Also, we had this up here. We have a really nice fair value gap, which we've completely absolutely like dashed all the way below right now. So hopefully we can come to that. I think we eventually will come to it. I'm saying hopefully we can, you know, use it and not actually break too badly. But, you know, again, I drew this back here on this upwards, you know, this kind of 50-50, because at the time I drew it, we hadn't truly confirmed above this order block yet. So I was seeing if we confirmed above order block, we would probably come back up to here and then use it and then come back down again. But if we eventually see this area, what I'm hoping it would mean is obviously this general movement where we see us come to it, fill it, then flipping this resistance we have to support, which we have done previously, which I have talked about already when we were back here, that we need to flip it and then use it as support, which we didn't truly do. Obviously on the one eye you could consider it maybe like coming up to here and then coming down again, but it wasn't anything too strong. But the important thing as well is we never got above this 66.3 and used it. Now, remember what I was saying back here, you know, when we were down here and I was talking about what we could potentially see, which I got pretty right, where we would eventually see, you know, flip of it, eventually use resistance here. I said we were going to form a rejection block in this area. And if you do go to lower time frames, you can see form a rejection block, used it as resistance, and then eventually flipped it and used it as support multiple times over before we fell. But the important aspect of it was this area, which not only did we form an order block in this area which we needed to get above, which we then used as resistance here in this area, here in this area. We used it resistance three or four times. But the crucial thing, which is what I was saying, like I said back here, I was saying we need to go above 66.3 and have a proper candle print above it and use it as support. Not only, you know, not some, you know, little pathetic, I should probably say, excuse my horrible enunciation. Let me zoom back down. There we go. So you can see, like, this is the line 663. I think it was lower time frame. I saw we had like a slight candle print above on the lower time frames. Yeah, I mean, again, it's pathetic. We needed that print. Let me go back to here. There we go. We needed a candle body print. We needed it like this. We needed to use it as support. I said this back, you know, ages ago. We needed to get above it, and we didn't do that. We used it resistance once, which was no surprise there because it was going to be a massive area. I see the camera moving. Hopefully it's not cutting me off. So again, we need to get above. We didn't do it. We fell below. No surprise. This is exactly what we did back here. You know, this is the exact same time. Where were we? Was it this area? I think it was. It was something here, I think. I mean, it was even worse back here, to be fair. We didn't even get above the high here. But this is good. I mean, considering the wider scheme of things, you know. Oh, no, it was back here. I'm stupid. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's a different scenario. That was the order block back there. Yeah, no. Well, this is its own scenario then. But considering it... Actually, I just want to see the trend on the... Yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. But going back to the point I was just making, we need to get this move above this line. Okay, these lines at the 1.11 or the 0.11, whatever, you know, on either side of things, on the high or the low, these are the important areas where you break above. That's the expansion line where you need to break above it. Someone just swore at me in the past chat. Leave. Yeah, we need to break above these lines. We need to use some support. We need to kind of really, truly like surpass these. Once you've done that, that's when you kind of prove to yourself, okay, cool, we're in this new area now. We can then see these new highs, or see these new, you know, these close lows, because obviously if you're in the new area, right, if I zoom out, it's on my mouse back. If you zoom out, you know, if we came up into this area, you know, this area is the low. Obviously coming back upwards, this is the high, this is the equilibrium, you know, as it would be, as we are right now in this area. So that is obviously what we didn't do, which we need to do, and then lo and behold, we fell below, forming this massive fair value gap. In the fair value gap area, as you can see, the candle is reaching into this area, which forms this massive candle. So I'm expecting this to be pretty big resistance in this area. So what I'm expecting, if we delete this out here, because we've surpassed it, because we unfortunately use it as resistance. We unfortunately continued this as, instead of flipping it, which I was hoping we were going to do, we didn't do that because we continued onwards, downwards. So if we bring it back, you know, we fell all the way down. I'm hoping, like I already said, we are going to be doing this flip upwards. Eventually, you know, breaking above this line at 62.9, using as resistance, coming down, flipping it, support, and then away we go. I believe this is something we need to flip on the higher time frame. I can't exactly remember which frame it is. I think it's this one. So if we zoom out again, yeah, I think it's here exactly. So you can see this is mitigation area. This is where we have the breaker blocks, which is when you flip the order block into the opposite side of what it's supposed to be. That is a breaker block. And obviously we have it back here. You can see resistance. We flipped it, tried to use support. We never really came back to support. We kind of hovered above because, again, like I said, we formed this rejection block when we reached the rejection block area of the high. Used that as support instead. We never really came back to this area. You can see we came very close and then we flipped it because we never came back. And again, what I've said this for I say this all the time. I say this like, you know, I don't know, like months and months ago. You know, I always say this when we consider breaker blocks, where if you have a normal order block and you flip it, you need to come back to use it support and then continue onwards, and then you can later use it support. Because if you flip it and then do your thing up here, you're gonna go right down below. And this is exactly what we did. You know, we obviously on the lower time frames it'll look better, but on a general note, on the 4 hour, you know, we came above it, hovered in our own area. Obviously, in this case, using the rejection block, hovered in this area, never came back to it and flipped it again. This is a classic thing which always happens with breaker blocks when they fail to actually form as breaker blocks. So that's very important to remember as well, which is why we just continued all the way downwards and never actually properly formed. So that whole pile up of not being able to break above that 1.11 line and not using the breaker block as a breaker block, aka meaning it's not going to be support, allowed us to actually just completely dump. And again, this is in fair value gap area. This is going to be massive resistance as well, which obviously coincides with this, because again, a breaker block has to be an order block in order for it to then be flipped as a breaker block. So in these areas where you get to form breaker blocks and you know, use them, you need to use them as order blocks to then flip it. So again, this shows perfect example. You know, on the grand scheme of things, you know, we formed it, came to the midpoint perfectly, and then over when we came back up to it, was the chance we gave ourselves in the market where we need to come above it and use support. We unfortunately failed that over here, and now we came below. So what I reckon is going to happen is we're going to come back to it and use it as resistance again, which obviously coincides with what we have with this fair value gap. So we have an order block overlapped on this fair value gap, which is going to be massive resistance. So I am thinking 65.1 is going to be a bit of resistance. I'm not saying it's going to stop us forever. We'll never get back above. What I'm saying is we're probably going to use it, come down to this lower dealing range. Is this, what are we on? Are we on the, okay. This is, I think it's just an order block though, isn't it? I believe on the higher time frame, on the 19863, it is a breaker block. So again, this is a higher dealing range breaker block, you know, meaning greater importance. So that is also, again, same example as we have over here, where where we need to use resistance and then flip it to be support to then truly form a breaker block. So you know, we've kind of got a double whammy there. Where what this means is we're going to use resistance, use the higher breaker block as resistance, and then use the lower breaker block or lower the order block as a breaker block. AKA, we're just going to form. I'm yapping a lot. All it basically means is we're going to do this. You know, that we're going to do that. That's all I'm really saying. It's just these are the building blocks to allow us to have a normal higher low, higher high scenario back upwards. Yeah. Let me go to the chat actually. I want to see what's going on. Short people saying. There's a lot of chatter. Tweaks here. That's a tweak. Reclaim the weekly EQ at 64.5, and this sends to 70k. EQ, is that like equilibrium? I assume you mean. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, so what? 64.5. Yeah. What is that? What did you have? 64.5. Reclaim the weekly EQ at 64.5, and this sends to 70k. Let me go back to 64.5. I mean, yeah, I mean, that is actually my area at the top of this order block. So, yeah, I could definitely agree. I think, you know, not only do we have that 60, I mean, for me, it's about 64. Obviously, me being the midpoint of this order block, we also have this 65 up here. So, this general range, if we can surpass that and get back up towards, you know, this high, then I'll obviously be more confident. I'm just hoping, I mean, the first step for me is to flip this. And again, you know, even if we don't flip it right now, we have this higher high scenario where, you know, I'm thinking even if we don't flip this right now, it will allow us to kind of, you know, come back upwards again and hopefully have a higher high in this regard, you know. So again, I'm not too bearish right now. You know, if we have another bounce or two off of equilibrium, then come down and then start to surpass this order, because again, this is a strong order block. If we didn't have this order block, I wouldn't be as confident. But if we do, you know, another one or two bounces in this area, and kind of do our thing and then come downs again and maybe start to show signs that we're going to try and break this order block, that is not good. But like I said, we can have momentary scenarios below these equilibriums. More than happy to do that. So I think not only is this going to be of difficulty, I think we're going to have to take a lot of steps to get back above this whole area, where we have multiple areas of difficulty before we get up. You know, this gap on the order block to be a breaker block, this breaker block, this obviously 6561 breaker block back here, which again, obviously resistance, bang, support, used, bang, and then we use support. If we flipped it, what we're going to do now that we flipped it, what we're going to do? It's now an order block. It's now an order block. So what we're going to do? Support, resistance. That's what I'm thinking for that. Let me go back through the chat again. 63 is make or break. Yeah, I mean that's the top of this equilibrium. I completely agree. I still think end of October we are larger than 70k, if not, if no more. That stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know what? I haven't shown in a while. What I will do, I think it's this chart. I think it's this. Oops. I think was it this one? I think it's this. Yeah, this was it. Yeah, this is it. This was beautiful when I drew it. Not okay. Yeah, 72, whatever. 90k. 90k. Okay, that's what I have, because this is the movement we've had for Bitcoin over the entire history. Okay, we formed at the low. We went to the next point high. We then bounced. We are flipping. We're gonna test back at 58.5 as support. Obviously, we filled this fair value gap as well, which we've come down to. But if we have candle prints above 0.11, I think we're gonna go to the next range higher at 90k. I think we're gonna eventually see this move upwards easily. You know, surpass these highs, coming up to 90k. Absolutely. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, again, 70k. Again, it's a general blanket statement. You know, we're gonna be above 70k. Yeah, that could mean 200k. That could mean 71k. But yeah, no, I agree. We're gonna be above 70k. Absolutely. I'm a negative on the way up and a positive on the way down. I'm a balance. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm an Aries. Obviously, I don't like doing what are they called? Star, what the hell they're called? I can't remember the horoscope. I don't know. What are they called? What are they called? God damn it. The zodiac sign. That's the one. You know, I don't really use zodiac signs because, you know, it's a bit fairy stuff. But you know, technically, I'm an Aries, so technically, I'm headstrong. So you know, I may be a bit more focused on one thing longer than I should do. So you know, if we're using star signs or whatever, then there you go. Oh yeah, you just said it. Oracle's Aries, but born a few weeks early, so he's what? Oh right, I know what you mean. Yeah, I was born early. Born early. Was it how? Yeah, a few weeks. I was like, it was crazy. I was like really furry or something, I think. So I'm either a bull or I think it's a ram. Either way, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you earned me $500 per day till now, bro. No way, bro. No, don't put it all on me because I've seen your screenshots, okay? And I've seen the way you trade, bro. That's on you, bro. Obviously, I know I do my things, I do my streams and whatnot, but bro, please, you are the one in control of your account, bro. You are a true goat, man. So being bearish, is that to me? I don't think I'm that bearish. I'm kind of on the. I'm not on the fence right now. I'm leaning more to being the bullish side of things because I'm seeing. I am expecting this continuous movement to 90k over the grand scheme of things. So I don't think I'm being too bearish right now. Check money flow, I will do. Let me scroll down a bit more. Yeah, anyway, going back to the chart, like I said, I definitely think we're going to eventually see this movement to 90k. I've talked about this on multiple time frames, on multiple different ranges. If I go to a lower one, maybe this one, we have our equilibriums in 90k. I've drawn lines. Maybe it's a 5.9. Oh yeah, here it is. You see 90k here. You see the higher range here. You see all these lines. You know, all these different ones which lead up to 90k. I think 90k is going to be beautiful. I had 85k on my bull flag. I definitely think 90k's the area. We're definitely going to come into this equilibrium. And I think this this cycle is definitely, or this kind of normal pattern we have going on in the market is definitely going to follow through to 90k. And I think we're going to go to 90k, have our retracement back towards wherever we're going to go to. I think the next step is 154k. I think what we have in this, because again, the 531, it sounds a bit crazy. The 531, 1441. You know, it sounds like I'm just saying random numbers, but this is like one of the highest ranges you can give, right? And obviously, the higher the range, the higher the time frame you want to use them on. So you use this on like the 3 month or the weekly or the monthly, whatever. This is like you use it on the higher time frame. And the way this is the 3 month, so we don't really have a lot of candles to go off. The way I see this pattern following is us seeing the next range upwards and then coming back down to the previous range to use as support, and then flipping it, coming to use as support, and then going up. So what I could see, 90k. Maybe surpass it again towards 110k, 105k, whatever. Coming back towards the rough area of 90k, maybe a bit below, towards maybe 80k, 85k. Again, bearing in mind on the lower ranges, we have equilibrium 83. So what I could expect is coming towards 90k, maybe surpassing towards 93k, 104k max. You can see that is the larger range. 104k max. Coming back down to maybe 83k, 72 potentially is what you can see. If I go to this, what are we bouncing off right now? What on right now? What did we bounce off? What was our difficulty price at? It's equilibrium again, as always. It's like a persistent ghost which always haunts you. All right, it's equilibrium. But again, going back to my point, I think we come towards 90k, 93k. Maximum 104k. I don't think we retrace as we've done previously all these other times, coming back towards 83k, and then surpassing that. The next step would then be 125k. So I think we're eventually going to see, it's kind of like a ladder. We're going to see these kind of moving upwards in the market. Again, this is on the 3 month. This could take a long time to happen, but this kind of orchestrates, for me anyway, the longer period time we have. You can see. We have candle body prints above 58k, but we dipped as low as we already know as 48k, not only to fill this gap we have on the 3 month, but to continue upwards. So similar story here, coming up to 104k, 93k, that rough range. I think our move below, as an example, this was a 20% move down. So let's say we come to 104k. A 20% move down would be, lo and behold, 83k. Isn't that just beautiful? 83k. Because what did we just look at? 83.2 as the equilibrium. So exactly what I just said, 83.2. And then you use that, so, you know, you test down there, and then you move upwards. So again, that's kind of some fairy stuff. You know, that's long time frame stuff. Okay, long time frame. The last thing I want to cover before we move on to actual, you know, other coins, is go to the daily. Okay, is this okay? So this is also, you know, if you were to listen to anything, this is kind of the most pie in the sky stuff. This was kind of a bit crazy, but it has happened before back here, doing our thing. But the important part is this phrase out here. Now, I'm not saying this is perfect, and I really don't think it is. This was kind of a thing I drew in my own time to see if it would follow through or not, and I keep up on it on the stream. But in theory, let me draw this properly. This phase here is what we have as manipulation, and in the entire phase, bar these 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, coming into manipulation, actually 4 days, we have continuous movement upwards. And in theory, all things being equal, the way AMD cycles work is obviously you have your accumulation doing your thing, whatever you're going to do in this area, and the M and the D phase are where it matters, where, you know, if you have movement downwards in your manipulation, you go up in distribution. If you have movement upwards in manipulation, you go downwards in distribution. So what do we have here? Pretty much the entirety of manipulation, bar a couple days, 4 or 5 days, whatever it is. We had moving upwards, and now that we've entered into distribution, I'm not saying we're coming down. I'm not saying we're coming down because of this, but in theory, it would mean a movement downwards. But in the distribution, it should mean you move further down than manipulation, because distribution is where the money is made, where the candles are formed. Okay. Now that would then mean you would come lower than 52k. I'm not saying this is gonna happen. Again, I'm truly not saying this is gonna happen, because again, I think this is a bit crazy. I just wanted to see how it's gonna work. But in theory, you know what I'm saying? You know, 44k. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna move on before I get shouted at. Okay. Let's go to Ethereum. I do have this random chart, which we've actually just completely moved all the way back down now. Obviously, you know, I'm saying I still haven't drawn the ranges. Oh my god, I still haven't drawn the ranges. I do apologize. So I'm just looking for the chat actually. Yeah, I haven't drawn the ranges. You know what I'm gonna do? No, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my normal charts, okay? Because I need to do that. You know, I like the white mode, okay? I like it cleaner, okay? And that's where all my TA is. But is it this chart? Can't remember where I had the normal TA. Can't remember if it's up here or not. Is it this isn't my normal TA? Is it on this? Finance? Oh no. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, here's the old TA. Yeah, this is. You can see the reason why I changed everything, because I just really didn't want to look at this. It's absolutely horrible. This is some horrible TA. Obviously, you know, it's one of those things. You know, it's history. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we do have some lines which are working, but I'm not looking at this because it's absolutely awful. I'm gonna go to this one because this one has actually some different ranges, which we have used. Oh yeah, I did talk about this, to be fair. I think more recently, which was these ranges down here, which we've already looked at, having these rejection blocks, using as support down here, and then coming upwards. Which it seems like we came to what seems to be a area of resistance. I don't know if this is. Oh, this is a previous fair value gap, which we're using resistance at. But not only that, we have, I assume, probably a 4-hour time frame order block, which you can see we've used as resistance. We have this up here. I don't know what this is. Maybe a weekly order block or something. Oh, it's another fair value gap. Right. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we have another fair value gap there. What most likely it is with all this is rejection blocks. You can see this rejection block, which, you know, we are using in resistance now pretty nicely. If we go to the midpoint of it, Pretty nice resistance here. But again, it is pretty ugly. Having this big dump at, again, coming below these now previous resistance points, different order blocks here, using this rejection block area again as nice support. You can see on the top of this line pretty nicely down here, you know, a couple dollars off, $5 off, whatever it is, coming back upwards towards these rejection or these order blocks, whatever it is, forming another order block in this dense area. If I had my ranges, I'd be more confident in whatever I'm about to say about Ethereum, but you know, using what we have previously used with Bitcoin and seeing how the market's going to go with that, what I probably will say is, you know, a continuous movement upwards, eventually surpassing this. So, you know, similar to how we had with Bitcoin, below equilibrium, finding difficulty to try to get back above. You could probably guess to say that this rough area is equilibrium. You can see multiple bounces here, bounce off here, bounce here, and bounce here. So you could, I would probably wager a guess to say this is roughly equilibrium. You know, you can see bounce, 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 flips it, resistance, 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 flip, came right back above it. Support roughly came back down, now is resistance. So I would roughly guess to say this is equilibrium area. I have a random line here, I don't know why I drew that. I would roughly guess to say this is equilibrium if I was to, you know what, get the calculator out. Let's draw a range, okay? I will do this on, I'm gonna do this on a clean chart, okay? Because I actually want to see what I'm doing, not just have messy rectangles area, okay? Okay, so this is where the old stuff is. So let's get an equilibrium going. So let's do a little bit of math, all right? A little bit of math. So bear with me. Actually, it might take some time to do this. Chat firstly. Love BTC, Toshi, CZ, next legend, Michael Berger. Man, absolutely, no, absolutely. Okay, we've got these cameras. This is the first step into becoming great, you know. Absolutely, you're gonna see us on pedestals soon, trust me. Outside of, you know, stadiums, you know, you're gonna see copper. They do copper, right? Because everything goes green, doesn't it? So it's always copper, isn't it? Maybe the old statues. I don't know what they do. What I'm sure they use for the new statues. I know old statues was copper. I don't know what they are now. I should say copper. Copper. Make copper statues of me and Mike outside stadiums, okay? Mark my words. And if they don't do it, we'll do it ourselves, okay? We'll do it outside our house. We'll have our own statues of us. Okay, egotistical. You can see the camera moving. Keep me in frame at all times. You know, because obviously, as you all know, I always like to run off on my streams. You know, it's just something which happens. I like to just dash off the other way. Let me have a little nosy. Okay, so basically, what you do is bear with me. Let's get the prices. This will take me just a minute. And then we're going to do that. So this is going to be a very small range, okay? Because it is... I'm doing a lower dealing range, okay? So we want this one to be... downwards. And then... Okay, well, actually, this is going to be tiny. I might need to... Okay, let's do... Let's do a bigger one, okay? I don't like this. Even though it is working, you can see this equilibrium down here at 2,300. Let's copy it over 2430, which is going to be another. Actually, what was it? 2430. Ah, my head. Sorry, I had an itch. What's it going to be? Another 243. That's right. All right, so you can see a decent usage of both equilibriums in every area. Not bad. You can see first range drawn. Let me freeze them because I don't like the fact that I could probably move them and just be completely wrong. So let's see how well we're using these. Stuck in equilibrium, bounce off equilibrium, bounce off equilibrium, bounce off equilibrium, flipped equilibrium. Resistance to equilibrium, resistance to equilibrium, resistance to equilibrium, support, 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 resistance. Okay, so good usage of equilibrium on both sides of things. We like to see that. Let's move this backwards now to where we are. So dip all the way down. Absolutely horror show. Bang, 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 dipping all the way below. And guess what? Guess what? Look at that. Isn't that just perfect? What were we doing for Bitcoin this entire time? Okay, what was our highest point for Bitcoin? Candle print. Okay, it was us trying to get above the 1.11, which is the expansion line. What do we have right above us for Ethereum? At our highest point, we have 2,700, pretty much on the dot, expansion area, which we found resistance and we dipped all the way back below. Pretty much identical to everything we've had. And obviously we've dipped now, coming below. Not only do we have rejection blocks down here, you know, flipping it all the way down here. So pretty good usage. So it's nice to see we have backup. So what was this again? Well, it's probably going to be equilibrium on a different... Okay, so let's do the range upwards, okay? This is some education right here, right now. Let me group these so we can actually just hide them. So that's using the 243 number, okay? So now we're going to do another range. Let's do on the daily so we can actually see what we're doing. Let's do it like here, okay? Let's do the next range upwards. I want to see what equilibrium we have next. So we have all right, so we have the... I think it's the right number. I'm pretty sure I'm not using the wrong number. Boom. So this is the next one. You can already see equilibrium in work. You can see. Look how perfect that is. I'm not even zoomed in. Bounce, 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 bounce. Flip. Resistance, 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 resistance. Obviously came down to different areas down here. Came up. Support, 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 support. Bang. Flip. So nice. We like to see that. So let's do a second one above because I just want to see what we have above. So we have 2907, I think it was. I'm not wrong. This one is going to be freeze. It's going to be that. Upwards. There we go. Let's bring this backwards. Actually, I want to see some history of these usages. These usages. There we go. Oh, isn't that just beautiful? Look at this. Aren't these just lovely? Bang. Support, support, support. Flip, resistance, resistance. Resistance in the area. Boom. Support, support. Bang, flip. Okay, so this is nice. These are good ranges. Okay, I'm glad I'm drawing them right. So let's zoom back in again and see how well we're using them. Okay, so again, pretty much the same area. Again, remembering, if we create these as 729. That these ranges, majority of them have equilibrium in equilibrium. And again, sometimes they're not perfect. Actually, is this wrong? Wait, let me check. I might have done it off by that number, by accident. Okay, that's right. I know how to check it. I need to unhide this. Oh, the lines are off. I've drawn them wrong. Whoopsie. Let me check. So we have the same over there. I think this one was wrong. I did it. All right, I've done one of these range wrong, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide the 729 because I don't need that right now. I need 243. So I've drawn them wrong, but you can see, okay, even it's offset. It's offset. I think in the 729, I think I've done the wrong number. I think I did 726 by accident. But you can see it's offset by a tiny bit. You can still see they're roughly within the same range. This, okay, basically what's happened is this is supposed to be up by a tiny bit to fit onto this this area. So if I unhide this now, that's supposed to be shimmied up a tiny bit. So I think I've done 726, which basically means it's been lower. But I can't bother to change it right now because I can't find where I've done it. So let's just remove that and hide this, so we can actually just use the normal range, which we want anyway. Obviously remembering that this higher range is where we need to be. So it wasn't, going back to my original point, I've gone off on a tangent again. That this rough area, it wasn't equilibrium, it's actually the high, which again, you know, of any range, you got the high, you got the low, and the equilibrium. That's the main majority of areas of importance. Okay, obviously you do have the intermediary areas. Obviously you've got the where the order blocks form, where the fair value gets formed, this and the other. But the basics are the the high and the low, which obviously if you have multiple ranges equate to each other, and the equilibrium. So you can see, you know, oh, this area is so important. Why? Well, it was actually equilibrium. Oh, it was the high and the low, depending on which range you saw. But again, we are seeing difficulty there. So again, you know, we have now flipped below, and you know, this is perfect. So you can see this is how difficult. This is why we're still. This is important to remember. This what my old chemistry teacher used to do is click his fingers 3 times to make sure he remembers what's going on. So I'm gonna do the same here and make sure my hands aren't sweaty. I'm gonna click my fingers 3 times to remember this. Remember what I always talk about. Okay, equilibrium. Not equilibrium, sorry. Expansion, right? What needs to happen? You need to come above or below, depending on if you're going above, you know, coming up or coming down, you know, into a new range or into an old range. You need to come back to the expansion line to test it and have prints below it. You need to actually properly do that. What do we see? What do we see right here? What do we see right here? On the dot. You can't get it more perfect than this. Genuinely on the exact line. You cannot get that more perfect. I've zoomed in as far as I can. This is in the okay, what is it? This is in the pennies. This line is exactly correct to the penny. Okay, let me sort my hair out. I realize it's flopping. Okay, look at this. Is my head covering it? No, slightly. Okay. Look at this. This wick is on the expansion line to the penny. That is the most perfect usage of a line I've ever seen using these ranges. It is on the expansion line by a penny. Okay, that is it's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty accurate. If I do say so myself, you can't get more accurate than that. Okay, so it's on. Reiterating, it's on the expansion line to the penny. What did I say about Bitcoin? Which we didn't do. Which we didn't get above in the new range, and this is why we've fallen. We came and this is what we've done for Ethereum in the same way. If I zoom out, exact same thing we did up here. Was it up here? Oh, this is the 4 hour. Where are we? Where am I? Where am I? Oh, I'm not even in the same area. There we go. This here, exactly what we didn't do with Ethereum. Okay. We didn't do this. We needed to. We didn't. We didn't come back to test. Where am I? I'm lost. There we go. We never came back to test the expansion line. So, this is why we're having difficulty in the high area. Try get back above. And this is why we're having difficulty at these lines. Because we tested expansion and then we continued to come below. So if we didn't do this, all right, if we had wick, we wicked to 20,000 or 2,300 or 23,500, wherever we came into actually to equilibrium, to be fair. But, you know, we actually came back to equilibrium, which is just perfect. And then obviously this proves to us now we're in this range. So now we are playing within this area of the high to this. Actually, no, to be fair, no, it's actually in this area to the expansion line. Let me draw this. There we go. We're actually in this area now. This is our new area. So we have expansion line. Once you break below that and use its support, you're then in this range. So the high isn't technically the last point of the range before you move upwards. You can come into the range. You can be in this range before you actually get into the new range completely, which is, you know, in this case, it would be 2,430 all the way back up to 2,670. So we still have this movement back up to 2,450, which we need to do. So that is the situation we have for Ethereum right now. This is pretty cool. The fact that we bounced off this exactly is a testament to the using these lines, and that, you know, equating to us being in a new range. So we need to do this basically. We need to come up into, you know, 2,400. We need to come up to. We can come to 2,500, but as long. Okay, we could come to 2,600. Actually, no, that's wrong. We could come to 2,573. There you go. That's a good line. We could wick all the way up to there, and still come back down to 2,300. We need that bounce off of expansion line. Otherwise, you're not in a new range. You're still in the old range. You're just in the overextended period of that range. So yeah, very, very, very nice there. What do I think for Ethereum though? I think we are going to continue to come upwards. I think we are at least going to try and see ourselves come to 2,450. But similar with Bitcoin, as we had previously when we were at 6,000, we need to go 66,300. We need to come above 2,456. You know, wherever that may, it could come to 2,460. It could come to 2,570. Like I said, we need to come back to test that 2,457 line. Once we do that, we are then in this range. We can then continue to come upwards. But, you know, don't be afraid of the fact we can come back downwards. And again, what is this? This is perfect. Rejection block, order block, fair value gap. Fair value gap. We have a nice, beautiful fair value gap right below us, which is just absolutely perfect. Actually, have we already come into it? I've already come into it, to be fair. Formed it, but actually, it's even lower, to be fair. Yeah, we've already used it there, to be fair. Yeah, we've already used it, so never mind. I lied. We don't have that anymore. We've already wicked into it. But we would have had that, and it would have been beautiful. Anyway, rejection block, order blocks. We have order block. We are fighting currently. But remembering, this is expanded into this higher range. So we want to be careful where we are right now, okay? Because this could mean support and resistance. What we're doing right now, we're wicking off pretty much the exact midpoint of this order block. So we want to be careful that we don't flip this and use it as resistance. But, you know, we are also actually forming, I think, actually we don't have actually any rejection blocks. We have rejection blocks on the upper end of things. So we could see difficulty, you know, sitting in these ranges up here. If I expand this upwards to this line, there we go. So we probably will see difficulty there, which we have already seen so far. If we go down to lower time frames, you know, you can see like, you know, we formed the rejection block, difficulty came down, formed the order block in this area using midpoint resistance. So we're probably going to see, you know, a higher high coming onto this rejection block. Hopefully, what I hope to happen is we see that bounce off of here, you know, and then we continue upwards, flip it as support, and then we are then in this range. But again, until we see that bounce off 2,456, you know, I'm not too confident in what we have there. Also, bearing in mind, we have all this range up here, where we have, you know, order block here, for example. We have a ton, you know, a whole array, a whole plethora of different things in our past price action. So, for example, if we draw back from here, you know, in the rejection block area or the order block area, what do we have here? We have us bouncing off the rough midpoint off of this line. Actually, to be fair, this goes down a bit longer from this. There we go. And what you can see, it pretty much comes to the midpoint there. So, you know, we do have previous stuff back here, which is giving us a bit of a hard time right now. So, in terms of my confidence into Ethereum getting back up above, we need to flip this. And we might not have that power just yet, especially since we've already used this, you know, fair value gap to kind of continue onwards. So, we don't have a lot. We have the breaker blocks down here, which we could probably see. You know, especially here. This is prime breaker block. You know, this is prime breaker block. You can see, you know, in the breaker block area, what do? Formed it, resistance, 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 flipped it, support, support, came upwards. So there's support down there at least, but again, that's quite far away. We don't really want that right now. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of difficulty in what we see for Ethereum right now, especially in this range. So let me delete this stupid area. Yeah, the 79 is wrong. I've drawn that wrong. So I will probably get back to you guys on that. because it doesn't actually line up properly. So I will draw that again. But yeah, that's a bit for Ethereum. We have resistance. We probably see with difficulty. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back downwards again for Ethereum, back into these areas. But I'm hoping we don't. But as we see it right now, we are technically currently in this range. So I don't want to see us fall. But I definitely think we come back to this breakup block, 2,360. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we will see. Yes, we will see. So, let's go to Solana, actually. And I will actually draw some ranges because I haven't done that. I haven't seen any coins, so I guess I can take my leisurely time. Maybe go 5 minutes over. Where's my TA? Why have I done it on Bybit? Ugh, I don't like this. I'm gonna draw this again. I don't like this. I want a fresh start on Solana. Okay, let's do another range. Let's draw another range for Solana. Let's do the 243. So let's get this going. So let's do it from this, okay? So basically, you know, you just get the price. Get it handed down the calculator, okay? Because I don't want to do it in my head, all right? I'm not some guy who wants to get it wrong. Even though I've already got it wrong, but I've done it in my head. So basically, you do that. Let's do one. So this will be one of the ranges. Again, lo and behold, pretty nice usage again. You know, dip in, or apart from these massive wicks, actually, to be fair. You know, dip in. Coming back to it, dipping again. Actually, wick completely below. Okay, this is when our market's dumped in that regard. Dip in here again. So, whoops. But to be fair, considering Solana, it's, you know, in the $100 marks. It's not going to be something where, you know, you have to use the whole number. So that's what you have to do sometimes. Let me equate this again. So I get it. I don't want to get it wrong. I really don't. There we go. And you can see up here, really nice usage of this equilibrium back up here as well. So a decent group there. For the 81, but you can divide it, so you could do $8.10, for example. So I might do that as well, actually, because, you know, it's a bit of a smaller price range. You don't have to do the larger numbers, but you can see when you have the exact numbers, it works a lot better, a lot better. So let me do it a bit smaller, because I want it on the lower time frame. We're on the daily right now. You know, if we go to the 4 hour, you can see it uses it well, but it's a bit too high. So what we could probably do, actually, is use a 27. 27 might be good. So let's do this a bit smaller. So let's get this. The 1 4. So this will be a lot better. It should be the 164, I think. Actually, I might be completely wrong. I am wrong. Stupid. It's got to be the 162, isn't it? There we go. Why does that look so weird? Well, this is this range. You can see it is using it pretty nicely. You know, in this equilibrium, you can see resistance, flip, support. Didn't use a support here. Came resistance, boom. So this is actually very similar to the, this is very similar to the Ethereum we had. Obviously, coming up into this equilibrium back up here. Obviously on the 81, still very good usage regardless. So let's expand this now. Actually, we could probably just use this actually on the 1 hour. It's probably a lot better. So what do we have? Bounced off the low of the range, really nice. Again, obviously didn't come to the expansion. This is pretty much very similar to what we had for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but on the lower end of things, where we, you know, dipped below the low, but we never really came to the expansion. So we're eventually coming back upwards now. This is breaker block area, so let's see if we have any breaker blocks. Let's go on the 4 hour, see what we have on the higher time frame of things. So we do have this. Seeing something here. You can see as it comes to resistance, flipped it, support, and then flipped it and resistance again. So this, we've already had our flipped of resistance to come down again. So I could expect this to be flipped at $146. You know, let me do this. this is assuming if we continue upwards. Again, I haven't considered all possibility for Solana, but if we continue this movement upwards, I could expect movements into equilibrium, use this support, and then, you know, probably come back into equilibrium. But the question is if we come back above here or not is obviously a completely different, you know, kettle of fish, I suppose. Also, a really nice breaker block here as well in the breaker block area. So it's going to be support. So it's going to be actually it's going to be good, pretty good resistance there. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully we come above this. But again, that's probably going to be the first pitfall of this movement, is trying to get back above equilibrium. But it would also be trying to get above this breaker block. As you can see, it is in the positive side of things, so it's going to be positive order block flip to resistance. So it's going to be wanting to be resistance more so, but again, it doesn't mean you can't use it as support, regardless for Solana. Just move the entire thing. There we go. Yeah, so I think the general movement's going to be coming back upwards above here. The question is, are we going to be using 146 as resistance or support? We've already come back up into it, you know, already. You can see, like, we flipped it, used the general area. Not only do we have it be basically at equilibrium, but it's also being used as resistance, and then we came down again. So hopefully this counts as, you know, we've confirmed it's order block, and now we're going to flip it and use it as support. Is what I'm hoping for, which is eventually meaning going to be us coming back up towards, you know, $148 or $149, and then coming back down to about $146 as support, is what I'm hoping for anyway. So let's hopefully we continue this movement for Solana. Again, similar with Ethereum and Bitcoin, I'm thinking we have this continuous movement upwards. I still think we have enough room. I think for Bitcoin, considering the scenario we have right now for the ranges and whatnot, I do think we're going to need to have, I mean, I do think we are going to be flipping the equilibrium, considering what we are right now. So, yeah, I guess we'll see, but I'm pretty confident we'll flip this. And again, considering what we have on the higher time frame on Bitcoin, which obviously kind of equates to the market as a whole, it is coming up to 90k, which means, you know, we will definitely see massive highs. So I'm not saying it's going to be right now, but at some point in the future, we're going to see that. So, you know, let's consider that in the possibilities. And again, October, November is the rough sort of time frame, and the month or two where we were assuming we were going to see this movement upwards anyway. So let's hope for that. Yeah, so I definitely think we are going to see this continuous movement back upwards towards $148. The question in terms of the movement after that is definitely a different story. A story which I don't have the words for right now. But I guess we will see. This is also, looking here, it's kind of in rejection block area, but it's not really, okay, never mind, it's not really rejection block. I want to see if this is a rejection block area. Yeah, anyway, we are using these ranges quite nicely. So, actually, this is going to be, okay, no, that's not a fair bet again. I want to see if this is going to be anything good. I don't have anything else I can see which comes to mind right now in terms of something really important. But obviously we are at 10 o'clock, so it has been the hour. So I'm okay. Actually, I should probably give actual TM. I'll probably say what I think we're going to do. I definitely think we are going to continue upwards towards $148. We're going to have that journey, I think, at least. Like I just said, in terms of seeing, oh, we're gonna then come back down to 146. We're then gonna come all the way back up, because obviously, you know, I do that sometimes with Bitcoin, but you know, I don't really expect to be fully right. It's nice when I am right, but it's hard to kind of predict 5 movements in a row. You do really see what the market's doing as a whole. So, you know, you don't take a trade at 135 and then put your take profit at 149 and then put another, you know, or you know, you don't put your trade at 135 and then put a reverse order at 149 and another reverse order at 146. You know, you trade a move. You trade a movement. You don't trade like the entire history of a coin. So in terms of taking that on board, I do think we're going to see 148 again. But again, in terms of the nitty gritty, in terms of we're going to come down again and then come up and then come down again, I'm going to have to see at the moment. So again, this is going to take, you know, this general TA is going to take, you know, maybe it'll take us in towards Sunday, Monday time. So what I could do maybe is give an update on the charts, maybe on Saturday or Sunday, seeing our movement. But I definitely think it's going to take us into Saturday afternoon at least. So what I might do is give an update to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana tomorrow evening, my time evening anyway. So do join the Telegram if you're not already. I will give an update in the general chat. I haven't done that in a while. I'll give a general update chat or general chat update on Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. What I'll also do, I'm going to hone these, because sometimes I don't really draw these ranges live, because sometimes I don't want to get it wrong. Because if you're off by like $1, or if you draw it wrong by a slight bit, it can get a bit finicky. Because there's a lot of lines, there's a lot of, you have like 4 fib tools in one go. You have to lock them. It does get a bit messy sometimes if you're drawing it, especially on the smaller ranges. So I'm going to redraw these to make sure they're tip-top shape, and then I will do a full coverage on the Telegram. So make sure you join the Telegram by tomorrow afternoon. I will, send over how the market's looking depending on these ranges. So I'm hoping to see this continuation. Considering our movement upwards, we could maybe see us slow down, maybe see a bounce. But again, even if this isn't quite break a block, it's still something considerable. I've not drawn that right. There we go. So in terms of, it's technically in break a block area, so it technically means we're going to flip this and use it support. So if we do come down, we could see 141, but I am waiting for this movement upwards to 148. And considering our movement downwards, I don't think it's too hard to move up to 148, considering the massive offset we've had in the price downwards, 17% from our high. But also what's also nice to see is our usage in this area. We've had a rejection block twice now, so we're definitely going to have big resistance in this area once more as we continue onwards. Similar to Bitcoin, Bitcoin had this area as well. So I'm expecting this movement continuing towards $148 roughly into equilibrium. So hopefully we can flip this. We're not in the similar scenario we've had for Bitcoin, where Bitcoin's already immediately come back to equilibrium and bounced off it once. Solana, Ethereum aren't quite there yet. So I guess we will see. But I'm going to leave that as it is right now. Go back to Bitcoin as our outro screen. So thank you guys so much for enjoying the stream and watching. Let me actually get the ranges back up. There we go. You can see we're printing inside of equilibrium, so hopefully we can get that moving upwards. Printing inside of equilibrium is a good sign. Hopefully we can get that shimmy upwards that we need so desperately to get up towards 63. But once we surpass, for me, what's the exact price actually? Let me just check. It is, hopefully the camera's moving off my face. Where the hell's, oh my god, 62,920. Okay, that is my line. Basically 63. Obviously, me and Mike have very similar lines. 63, 62,920. Once we can surpass that and use the support, we're golden. We are golden. So hopefully we can do that. I'm waiting for that for Bitcoin. Again, like I said, Ethereum and Solana aren't in the scenario we've had for Bitcoin. And again, as of late, we are definitely seeing a bit of a disparity in the movements in Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. Not surprised by that. Again, they are their own coins, but in terms of Bitcoin versus Ethereum and Solana, we are definitely seeing a bit of a disparity. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin was able to surpass that line and use its support and get back above into the higher range of the entire range we're in right now, the higher, between equilibrium and the high, aka between 62,920 and 65.6. So I'm hoping for that. I'm expecting that, to be fair. Solana, like I said, I'm expecting 148. Let me go back to Ethereum really quickly. Was I on Bybit or was I? Was this? Yeah. For Ethereum, I'm expecting. Ethereum's in a bit of a different scenario right now, as I've shown. Like I said, I could probably do the 81, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I'm not gonna bother. I want to get it right off stream. So what I'm expecting for Ethereum is probably a downwards movement. I don't want to have a disparity between Ethereum or Solana and Bitcoin, and then Ethereum has something completely different. But considering where we are right now on the range, where we've bounced off the expansion line, we're currently in a lower range. We've got rejection block here. We've got this order block of negativity. We are at this equilibrium or this order block right now. We are currently using this right now, the midpoint. So we do have that bit of support. So hopefully this is strong enough at 2423 to bring us upwards. But we do have massive resistance above us currently. Not only are we bouncing off of this rough range, of the high, we're also in this range coming towards 2315. So I wouldn't expect a tiny bit more movement downwards for Ethereum, but I guess we will see. 2,400 is definitely going to be a good support area. I should probably look at a bit more history. But again, we're doing a similar thing we've done previously where we had our moving upwards. So hopefully we can do something like this, because this was good. You can see the purple line is here. You can see this was of great importance. This is a good example as well. You come above and then you use it and then you flip it. it doesn't really matter what you do down here. It matters that you've bounced off this line a couple times. Where the hell's all the TA gone? Or where's all the... There it is. So this is good, you know? This is what you want to see. So I'm hoping for that for Ethereum, but I guess we will see. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a bit more movement downwards, considering the scenario we're in, and since we're in the lower range. So hoping for the best. Obviously, prepare for the worst. Let me read the chat before... Oh yeah, money flow. Apologies. Check the money flow for Bitcoin. All right, so what are we doing? So let's go on the daily. Obviously, I want a bit of a higher range. We are still coming up for the money flow. The last time I checked it, I can't remember. It was probably a bit earlier. We were kind of hovering a bit. We were coming back upwards again, which is a good sign. Obviously, we were pretty overbought in terms of up here. This is the static RSI. Bought in terms of the normal RSI as well. So we've come down again. We're now in the normal range. So we have had that bit of a dump. We are coming upwards again. Momentum is at equilibrium area, so it doesn't necessarily mean we have to come all the way down to these negative areas, which would mean a negative movement towards 58k or whatever it would equate to. It could also mean we have a small little dot, which could also be a anchor trigger wave, which would then allow us to pump again. Not only for stochastic RSI, and the RSI has evened out. I expect the view up to have passed into the positive side of things. Money flow is coming upwards. I would expect moving upwards. They're solely based on what I see on Mark Cypher. It's got on the weekly as well. That's still coming upwards, which is good. It's a good sign. Obviously, it was coming down the entirety. You can see this entire movement. It's been coming down, but you can see in this, obviously in this cross, it came upwards. But I'm hoping for this, this bounce to be our movement outwards of this range. Obviously a green dot. Everything's kind of coming upwards. Not oversold or overbought, in any of the RSI, which is a good sign. It's got the 4 hour as the last little area to look at. Money flow is also coming upwards, been coming up for a bit now as well. So this is a good sign that we're coming upwards. So, the RSI is pretty high. So probably showing signs to suggest we should come downwards again. Obviously, you can see the times it does come to these areas. You can see it does come down a bit. Obviously, this was equated to this high downwards. This equated to this high downwards. This period equated to this high downwards. So, the times that the stochastic RSI has been in these scenarios, we have had negative movements. Not necessarily. You can see here, it was at this scenario. It did eventually lead to a movement downwards, but necessarily, considering how high we're off the RSI, it should suggest a movement downwards. But again, I'm considering that we're going to kind of come upwards. So yeah, if we do reach ourselves above equilibrium, it doesn't really matter what it shows. There's tons of scenarios where the stochastic RSI doesn't actually really mean like this. This is actually closer to what we have right now. You can see it's a gradual move upwards. We don't really move down that much, but obviously the big movements upwards kind of equate to a pretty big movement. You can see that the way that everything starts to move up is very gradual, so it's a bit meh, it's a bit slow. So I don't really think it's going to have too much of a weighting that we're going to dump, towards 58k, 59, 60k, wherever it's going to be. But that's the money flow. Positive on pretty much every regard, so that's a good thing. I think I've given my rundown to the chat again. I haven't actually read the chat in a time. There's actually a lot of chat, so I'll read the chat last time. Trying to find the actual first message before I finish reading. $70k my seller for Bitcoin. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. I mean, obviously some profits are better than no profits. Or any profits better than no profits. So absolutely. Sometimes you don't have to catch the exact top, exact bottom. $70k is gonna be a great price to sell. Obviously, considering what a lot of people expect, we could see a lot higher. We have seen a lot higher previously as well. So, again, it is your crypto. So, but in terms of a potential move back upwards, I would expect a bit more than that. Okay, every 1 hour in all exchange, my trades change. Yeah, he does his opposite trades and then he gets out the other one. But you know, it's been working for him. So yeah, I've DCA'd for 8 years on Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, again, to even out all odds, because obviously if you just buy one day and that's it, the entire thing, again, you're gonna see and you're gonna notice that fall off a lot higher, or a lot easier than you would obviously if you DCA for a long period of time. Again, that's if you're playing the long game. You know, you are going to be wanting to do that. Trade entry not important, exit important. Yeah, I mean, again, it's always nice to get a perfect entry. You know, there's no doubt about that. But you know, I think I do talk about this a lot as well, especially with strategies. Is the risk management, and talk about exit is more important in terms of is being able to know what you need to do in terms of if you need a tight stop loss or a bit of a relaxed one where you know your trade can go well or not well. You need that bit more of an extra padding. So, you know, getting into it, yeah, you'll then, you know, unless you're catching the downtrend and it dumps like 2 seconds later because everyone sells, and that's something a bit external. But judge general price action on a more sophisticated coin, then yeah, I would say that's probably more important. Like you said, from what I talk about, you know, in terms of, I think a lot of strategies can be profitable. I think you know, there's like different ones with oscillators and this, that, and the other. As long as you know what you need in order to set your trade up properly to get a maximum profit. Because again, you could have trades where you aim for a 2 risk reward or a 3 risk reward, and you're either risking more or you're having a tighter stop loss and you're taking more trades. That will you know, mean more fees. So again, there's a lot which goes into working out if something can be profitable or not. But you know, if you know that the way you read the charts or whatever you use, whatever data source or you know, chart pattern you use, if it's something which forms a lot of the time where it has a less of a higher chance of succeeding, you know you're going to need a tighter stop loss, and you need to be aware that it's going to fail this amount of times. So, you know, I definitely think if you boil it down, I think that would then mean the exit's more important. But you know, again, it's nice to get a good entry, but you don't want to enter. You don't want to enter the wrong period. You don't want to enter. You know, if you're just about to start going up and you do a short, it's one of those things. But I think that comes with your strategy. You know, entry is good, but as long as you're getting something in the right direction, that's good enough. You know, I think then it's more so of where are you aiming for, and what you're willing to risk, which then comes into the exit part of things. So yeah. If you market long and short on every trade, you'll be paying a lot of fees. Yeah, I mean, if you can, like I just said, like if you can outweigh that by any means necessary, then you know, go for it. But you know, I think, you know, for Kishan, if he wouldn't be doing it for the amount of time he's been doing it for if it didn't work for him. So again, as I always say, if something works for you, don't let everyone else tell you otherwise. But yeah, I mean, the fees have got to hurt, but hey, is what it is. Yeah, money file, I checked it. Sui, okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna draw anything for Sui. What I'm gonna check if I have a previous chart drawn. If I don't, I don't think I have everything drawn, do I? Alright, I'm just gonna do some really trashy TA for it, okay? I don't want to give you something which is trash, but at the same time, I have gone over a pretty big amount in terms of the time. So I will probably be ending it very soon. I just want to draw some lines, just see how we're doing. It seems like we came to the top of this. Obviously, this was our top. Obviously, sweeped it and then came down. And obviously found resistance at this line. So this looks like a good line for support and resistance. So maybe coming back down again if we come to there. But considering what the market may be doing, we might not want to see that movement down. It's on the daily though, to be fair. So let me go back to here. Seems like we do have a consistent amount of lows here, which would be good to, you can see it formed this high, and then boom, 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 bang. So what I could see, if we eventually came down to this, then it could mean, a good movement back upwards. Obviously, considering we do have, equal ones here as well. So I could expect that. So maybe it come down to there. So I think $1.52 would be a good price to come down to. Considering we were in an uptrend, obviously some of our lows went very high in terms of the previous, positions, but we had higher highs, which is pretty good. We are now kind of coming a bit lower, and we've had a lower low as well. So it seems like we're starting to come into a downtrend. So what I could expect is a move downwards below the lows we've had, which would then equate us to maybe $1.55, and then that would flip us back upwards again towards this $2 mark. So maybe $1.55 would be a good price to come down to then come back upwards again. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time. $2.25 is my top. I'll have to look again. I'm going to draw my lines. What I'll do, Kishan, I'm going to end the stream now. But what I will do, I will draw some ranges for Sui, and I will send a screenshot in the chat. And I'll give you like a paragraph. I'll spend, because I'm 20 minutes over. I did spend a lot of time reading the chat and talking and whatnot. So I will check what's going on with Sui. Previously, actually, I want to check something. This is gonna be a bit meh. Okay, ignore me. All right, close your eyes. Okay, avert yourself. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. It was stupid. I just wanted to see if we could get like a block and see the midpoint based on the previous high. But again, this is when the coin starts, so it doesn't matter. Stupid idea. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw some TA on this, like externally from the stream, and I will send it in the chat. So I'll show you. So I'll do that later, or not later. I'll do it in like 5 minutes, or whatever. So, short and sweet. Yeah, I mean, again, I did like a minute. Okay. Considering the grander scheme of things, we're obviously in a decent high position right now. Considering this long movement, I am thinking we are in this. We've done this higher high here. We are doing higher highs, a bit of a lower low here, and then equal highs, and then we sweeped. So it's very similar to what I think we're going to do here. You can see let me draw that. There we go. You can see equal highs here. So what happened was. Uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. We did then an equal low down here on the candle bodies, obviously a lower low on the wick. Came back upwards, then did an equal high, sweeped it, and then came down. So I think this is now our downtrend, where we're going to have a lower high and lower low. I think very equal thing. We're going to sweep these lows and then come back upwards again. So I think this is just a quick sweep below, and then come back upwards again for Sui. Again, I don't have any of my ranges, so what I will do is I'm going to check my ranges, and then I'm going to send it to you, because I don't have any of them. I want to see what the ranges say. I want to see what we can form in the ranges, because then we have got all block down here. We have used the midpoint as support. We could use that support again. It could be a breaker block. It could be in a breaker block area. We could then flip it. I want to know what we have. If I draw it, for example, there we go. So you can see here, I mean, I haven't drawn it properly. Hold on. There we go. You can see we've got this order block here. You can see support, a bit ago. There's the pencil. There it is. So you see we use it support, and then we come back upwards again. It could be a breaker block. It could be in breaker block area, which means we use it and then we flip it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see. So do bear with me. I will send some TA in the chat. But I'm going to end the stream because I've spent a bunch of time. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do really, really appreciate each and every one of you for joining. If you are new and you enjoyed, consider following, subscribing, liking, this, that, the other. Go to the description. Useful links down there. Twitter and Telegram, most important. Go to Telegram. I will be giving an update Saturday or Sunday time when the markets continue their price movements. So we will see what happens. I am thinking we are going to have that moving upwards. Ethereum is obviously in a bit of a sticky situation depending on what we read right now. I'm going to redraw some. I'm going to make sure the ranges are properly drawn because there were some offsets on the Ethereum one, so I want to make sure it's drawn properly. I think I put the wrong number in one of the ranges, so I'm going to update them. I'm going to post some charts Saturday or Sunday time, seeing how the price action works. But I do think that Bitcoin's going to flip this equilibrium again. 60 to 920 is the important price for me anyway. If we can flip that and hold it, we are then in our higher range. So I guess we will see. I'm going to give a quick update because I want to see how it goes. You know, I don't have anything surefire on it. I am confident in we probably will flip it, but we will see. We're here for you at 20. We'll be here for you over New Year and the next bear market. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, obviously. You know, getting better and better and whatnot. So, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you all. Let's see how we do. Okay, October is the month of positivity. AMD phase, screw it off, okay? 243 days, very, very important for a cycle. We are now in the latter end of things. Let's see the pump. I want to see the pump, okay? Shout out to all of you. Appreciate you all. 90k soon. Remember what I said on the 3-month time frame. 90k, back to 83, 104k, support at 90, whatever it was, 124. Okay, that's what I think for the next couple of years. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you all. See you next stream, which will be, it's Friday today. I'll probably be back on Monday, Tuesday, depending what I do on the weekend. Mike will probably be back. I think he's back on the weekend. I don't know if he takes Sundays off, so he'll be back Saturday, whatever. I don't know if we're doing something on Wednesday. I think we had a giveaway or something. I think we're still doing that. So I think we're doing something Wednesday, the 9th of October. Obviously, it is the Halloween month. It's October. So in the latter end of October, we will be doing another Halloween stream. So get ready for that, because last year's one was pretty cool, okay? We are doing something Wednesday, cool. We had some pretty cool costumes last Halloween stream. So do 2 Halloween streams. So do get ready for that. Okay, get your spooky sweets out or whatever. Get your witches hats and your whatnot. I don't know what I'm gonna be. I don't know. I'm trying to think, because last time we kind of just chucked on some masks and there you go. I want to buy a costume. So I'm thinking what it might be. So I'll maybe run a poll or something on Telegram. Put a couple options or whatever. Get you guys to ask, or get you guys to put in some responses to see what I'll be for Halloween. So maybe me and Mike will do a poll each and give some options or get some suggestions, because I don't really know what I'm going to be. So if you're in Telegram, do message in the general chat. Tell us what we should be for Halloween, and we'll do it on our Halloween stream. And the most popular answer will be what we do. Okay, so thank you. I'll see you Monday, probably. Tuesday, whatever it's going to be. No, Monday, because we're doing Wednesday stream. So either Monday, and then I'll probably do Friday as well, because we did something this week. So probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you in the Telegram as well if you do join. I'll see you on the weekend, because I'm going to be posting some charts in there, because I want to see how the charts go. Shout out to all of you. See you guys. Thank you.